Hello folks, it's another beautiful morning here in Riverside, California, and we have an adventure for you.
So we wanted to do this little comparison to show some of the people that may not know exactly what like a King shock will do compared to like a Bilstein shock. So this truck right here has a stage 2 kit. It's got a coil spring, dual Bilstein shock, radius arm, cut and turn beam, D-relief pack, and a Bilstein shock in the rear. So it's pretty simple. This is what we call every man's Bronco, and they perform really well. It's a great package. This is my personal Bronco. It's a little different compared to like what I call the kit Broncos, which all the parts just bolt onto the kit Broncos. So it's still got independent 4-wheel drive. It's only got one shock per wheel, and it's got a Chevy LS motor. Everything on this Bronco is custom made, and I built this truck 10 years ago, and it's largely unchanged from when it was originally built. You know, this was a purpose-built truck to be a totally all 4130 chromoly pre-runner truck. And then when it was nearly finished, I got a bug up my ass to start racing it. So I finished it real quick and we started racing it. We had 6 years of racing this truck and had a lot of fun. So this truck, you know, it took me 2 years to build in my spare time and every penny I had. I'm a fabricator and race car builder, so I could sit there and design and build these parts, but it's not really like achievable for the average guy. And so these trucks with the kits, they perform very well, almost as well as this. It's a little different nature of the beast, but this is a Solo Stage 4. The Solo Stage 4 has a cut and turn beam, King coilover, Deaver leaf spring, and a King triple bypass shock in the rear. So the cut and turn beam is where the lower ball joint is cut out of the beam and moved out. What that does is it corrects the camber for the added lift. The 4-wheel drive I-beams are kind of unique that you have to change things like that to give them ride height and make them work. You can add a full set of bypass shocks to the front of this truck. So the great thing about the kits is as your experience or your budget grows, you can grow with the truck. Start with the Stage 2. A couple years down the road, you buy some coilovers, you put the coilovers on the front end, you buy some bypass shocks, you put them on the rear end, and you're ready to go. All right, the Solo Stage 2.
You won't believe it! Mike's jumping a Bronco!
It's badass. This thing kicks so much ass. This thing's badass. It works really good. Next thing, now we're going to drive to Stage 4. Oh yeah, this one runs good. Definitely will absorb bigger hits. You can push a little harder, do stuff like that.
Okay, we've got a third Bronco here. This is gonna be amazing. Mike's has another Bronco. Here we go.
Well, all three trucks are a ton of fun. Obviously, I've been driving this one for a lot of years and not these other two, but I was impressed by both these two kit trucks. It's really impressive what the Stage 2 will do with the Bilstein shocks. If I'd never driven the Stage 4, I would have been totally pumped on the Stage 2. Once I drove the Stage 4, it was like a whole nother level. Like the shocks just work so bitchin'. It's hard to compare the three because, you know, I mean, you're roughly $7 grand into the Stage 2, roughly 16 into the Stage 4, and then, you know, we're 6 digits beyond on that thing. So yeah, the scale is way uneven. They're all great though. They're all tons of fun.
Now that concludes our Bronco adventure. I hope you had a good time. Did you have a good time, Mike?
Yeah, did you have a good time, Vince?
Yeah.